Your resume should not exceed 2 pages max. Do you have the experience to do the job? Nobody has time to read about all your achievements. Nobody cares about any achievement or any of those other things that take up to 3, 4, 5 pages. Ain't nobody got time for that.
You have to be your biggest fan.
My name is Nikki. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Ada Canada. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome, and thank you so much for coming back to watch me. It has been such a long time since I did a sit-down video that I almost do not know what it's like to film a sit-down video. But here we are again. I'm trying to ease my way back into it after being away for a while. For today's topic, we are going to be talking about how to land a job or how to get hired fast as a new student in Canada. The reason why I decided to talk about this is because a few months ago, I had a couple of students who reached out to me telling me that they had gotten admission to start school in the spring semester, which was in May, and some of them had even gotten admission to start school this coming fall semester in September. While waiting for their visas to come out, they started asking me questions about how the job market is like for students and how easily they will be able to find jobs as a new student in Canada, what it would take. So that's why the moment I got back to Canada, once I had settled, I decided to just delve right into this topic and give some tips and pointers because I have been in those shoes before. Which, by the way, I digress. I am really happy to hear that you guys, my subscribers, are getting your admission statuses approved, getting accepted into schools, getting visas. There are a number of you who are watching me right now who are going to start school in September. Some of you are already in the country, but some of you are planning to come in September. And it gives me great joy to know that I helped in some way, form or the other through my videos on YouTube. I'm really happy for you guys. I want every one of us to succeed and be able to fulfill our Canadian dreams. Without wasting too much time, let's just delve right into the main topic. I have about 5 tips in my notes here about how to land a job or how to get hired very fast as a new student in Canada. And even if you're not a new student, even if you are coming into Canada as a new PR, obviously you're going to start looking for a job. So I feel like this would help you. The first tip in order to land a job or to get hired fast as a new student in Canada is to study your environment. You are coming into a country that you have never ever been to before. You have only seen it on TV or read about it online or watched YouTube videos like my channel, like my videos. You don't exactly know what Canada is like because you've never seen it with your own eyes. You need to see Canada with your own eyes. You need to see the city that you are coming into with your own eyes. As a fresh newcomer to Canada, you are not going to start work the moment you set foot in Canada. There are things that you need to have, there are things that you need to sort out, things that need to be in place before you actually start looking for a job. For example, you need to open a bank account, you need to get a SIM number, you need to get a phone or a SIM card with a SIM plan, all of those things that you need to do as immediate things. And so once you have those things settled, the next order of business is to study your environment. Because you're coming into a new country, there is so much going on around you. First of all, you're going to be dealing with jet lag. You're going to be dealing with climate change because you're coming in from a different climate into Canada, which has a different climate than what you have back at home. So things are going to be different. There is going to be so much going on around you. You're going to start experiencing a bit of culture shock, right? And all of these things are going to be overwhelming. Take a deep breath, study your environment, study study how the bus route works, study the way things are done, study the system of things. Even if you have to ask questions, ask people questions. Just try to understand the environment that you are moving into, understand the way things work, because the way things work in Toronto, for example, might not be the same way that things work in Edmonton. You can even visit your school as a new student, visit your school, walk into the International Student Center. Every school that I know of in Canada should have an International Student Center. As long as that school accepts international students, they should have an International Student Center. And even if they don't have an International Student Center, there should be an International Student representative or somebody that works to help international students coming into the city where the school is located to be able to settle in. Visit the International Student Center and, you know, ask questions like, I'm coming from this country, I already have this, how can I find a job? It's all part of trying to study your environment. It's all part of trying to get a feel for what your environment is like before you actually start applying for a job. It is like a step-by-step process. You don't just come into Canada today and the next day you're really like, I want to get a job, but you don't even know how the job market is like. What kinds of jobs can students work in the city that you're coming into? What are the easiest kinds of jobs that you can get as a student? Where can you apply to? Where are the places that you think students will fit in best the most? These are questions that you can get answers to from your international student representative or from the International Student Center. So yeah guys, just basically just study your entire environment and study the way things work, study how things go. Tip number 2 on how to land a job or get hired fast as a new student in Canada is to know where to search for part-time jobs as a student. As a newbie, you don't know anybody in the city that you're moving into, you don't have anybody to direct you physically. If you are unsure, if you are uncertain, if you don't know where you can search for jobs, again, walk into the International Student Center or meet with your international student representative body, whoever that person is or group of people, whoever they are, wherever they are. Try to find out information, try to meet with them, find out where, ask them questions, because that is their job. Their job is to help you as an international student settle into the country or into the city, try to get you acclimatized, try to get you orientated into your new environment. So if you're not sure, or if you don't have anybody else to ask, please walk into the International Student Center and ask them where or how, try to find out information on where or how you can search for jobs and the kinds of student jobs that exist in your area. However, if you do not want to use the International Student Center, you can also do it online. One of the commonest places to look for a job is via Indeed.ca. I'm going to have them written on the screen for you. So Indeed.ca is one of the commonest places that you can get jobs, either as a student or as a professional. So you can go online with your computer and just type Indeed.ca on your Google search button, and once the site opens, you of course will have to type in what kind of job that you're looking for in the search field, and it's going to bring you listings that are open, and then you just fill out application forms. Sometimes those job postings might come directly from company sites, and so when you're looking at the job description on the platform, the Indeed platform, it's going to redirect you to the company's site, which is fine. Sometimes you have to apply through Indeed. Some other times you have to apply it directly through the company site via Indeed. Another good place to look for student jobs is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional app that is so underrated. A lot of people do not know how to use LinkedIn, do not know how to make LinkedIn work for them, and that is something you need to learn. You need to know how to use LinkedIn to search for jobs. My current job, actually, I applied via LinkedIn, right? The job that I've had for a while now, I got this job through LinkedIn, okay? I didn't know anybody, I didn't have any godfather. I just applied via LinkedIn and I was called for an interview. So guys, if you are sleeping on LinkedIn, you need to wake up and you need to know how to work your page, okay? Work on your LinkedIn profile and put yourself out there, and that is how recruiters will find you, and that is also how you can place yourself out there for job opportunities. There are a lot of job opportunities that get posted on LinkedIn, same way there are a lot of job opportunities that get posted on Indeed website. Another place that you can apply for a job is directly on the company website. So if you know various companies that are in the city or that have locations or branches in the city where you just moved into in Canada, you can apply directly on the company website. Sometimes companies advertise for jobs, just like I said before, through LinkedIn and through Indeed. So if you are looking at job postings from various companies on Indeed or LinkedIn, sometimes you may be directed to the company website to apply. Most of the times, these job postings that usually appear on Indeed and LinkedIn usually take you directly to the company website to submit your application. Another way that you can search for jobs is through notification boards in your campus. Pay attention to notice boards in your campus of the school that you are going into. That is why it's good to study your environment, right? This kind of goes back into studying your environment. When you're trying to get acclimatized, you're trying to get orientated into your environment, visit the school that you will be attending before you actually start classes, right? And even when classes have started, as you walk along the school hallways, as you go to different places, look at the notification boards. Sometimes job postings are posted on notification boards, and even if you are not paying attention to those notification boards, sometimes job postings might be posted via email. There are some job postings that are advertised via your campus email. So obviously, when you're coming in to start school in Canada, you will have a campus email, you will have a university email. There are some job postings that are sent via emails. You get a notification that this place or somewhere is looking for this position and applicants are invited to apply. So guys, just pay attention to your environment, pay attention to your campus or your university emails, pay attention to the campus notice boards. Another way, again, and this one is just like an extra thing I just thought of on the spur of the moment, is career fairs. Guys, a lot of Canadian schools host career fairs every major semester, and by major semester I mean the fall and winter semester. Fall semester is from September to December, winter semester is from January to April. So there are usually career fairs. They organize career fairs where you have people, representatives from different companies will come to a particular location of the school. They'll set up like a booth. You have to be proactive. Take note of career fairs that hold in schools, career events, anything about careers, whether it is virtual, whether it is in person. If it is virtual, try to figure out a way that you can register to attend the career fair. If it is in person, do not sleep on career fairs. There are so many companies who come to the campus to recruit students. And when you're going for a career fair, don't just go empty-handed. It's all about placing yourself ready to meet opportunities. Go with your resume. Go prepared like you are going for an interview. Don't just walk to a booth casually and say, oh, I came to ask about a job and and the rest. Go with your updated and structured resume to these kinds of events, because you just never know. You might be given an interview on the spot. If you make a very good first impression, definitely they're going to take your resume and they're going to call you back, right? So try to be proactive in your job searches. The third tip on how to land a job or how to get hired faster as a new student in Canada is to restructure your resume to the Canadian standard. The reason why I say restructure is because in your home country, you might have your CV, curriculum vitae, or your resume in a particular format to fit with your environment. But when you come into Canada, it is different. I'll give you an example. I am originally from Nigeria, and in Nigeria, we don't usually have resumes. What we have is curriculum vitae or CVs. When I moved to Canada, I had to learn the hard way that CV and resume, they are two different things in Canada. When you are talking about CV in Canada, you are looking at the academic line, say for example, master's, research, PhD, all of those sorts of things. So if you want to go the academic route, then you'll be talking about CVs. CV is where you have your publications, you have papers written, you have different things you've done, different researches that you've done. So it's a little bit more academic. Resume is what is common that you use to apply to different places or different companies. And I had to learn this the hard way. You need to learn how to draft a resume that will land you a job in Canada. When it comes to job hunting, your resume is more like a summary of your CV. Your resume should not exceed 2 pages max. Your resume should not be longer than 2 pages. Nobody has time to read about all your achievements. All they are concerned about is, can you do the job? Do you have the abilities? Do you have the skills? Do you have the experience to do the job? Nobody cares about any achievement or any of those other things that take up to 3, 4, 5 pages. Ain't nobody got time for that. If you don't take anything else from this video, take it from my mouth that when you're applying for a job in Canada, your resume should not exceed 2 pages. Once it is exceeding or going further than 2 pages, if you're restructuring it, you need to summarize information. You need to find ways to cut the information down so that it fits well into 2 pages and is very concise. When companies receive applications, most times, in most cases, it is machines that do the job of vetting these applications. And if you have human beings doing that job of vetting applications, they are working fast. Okay, so nobody has time to read a resume that is longer than 2 pages. Once they go to the first page, they know what you're looking for. Once they go to the second page, they know what you're looking for. So anything longer than that is like a waste of time. They're just going to toss it aside. Another important thing that I wanted to bring up regarding resumes is that you should have different resumes for different job positions. The resume that you will use to apply to a job at a restaurant, a student job at a restaurant, is not the same resume that you will use to apply for a student job at a bank. And it's still not the same resume that you will use to apply for a student job at a grocery store, because the qualifications are different. Some of the skills might also be different. Tailor your resume to that specific job posting. When you are looking at a job posting, the job posting is going to have things that you're looking for. They're going to list out the responsibilities, they are going to list out the roles, they're going to tell you everything that they want from that position, whoever is going to occupy that position. So if, for example, you're looking at a job posting and the requirements say that they need someone who is detail oriented, who pays attention to detail, who is a team player, who knows how to use Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office suite, what you're going to do is that when you are structuring your resume that you're going to use to apply for that role, you can pick those key things in the job description and add it to your skills. Put those keywords from the job description in your resume to basically structure your resume to fit with that job description. In most cases, machines do sift out applications. So when a machine or artificial intelligence, as the case may be, is doing this job of sifting out applications, obviously those machines have been programmed to read or recognize certain words, certain keywords that they are looking for. If your resume has those key words, then your application will be added to the pile of applications that they are going to interview. But if you don't have those keywords, if the machine cannot read or identify keywords that it has been programmed to identify in your resume, then your resume gets tossed aside. I hope that I've explained this very well. Look at the roles, look at the responsibilities, and then try to match those roles and responsibilities using those keywords. Add them to your resume, because that is how you can be shortlisted for an interview. Once you get shortlisted for an interview, it is like a step in the right direction. The fourth tip on how to land a job or how to get hired faster as a new international student in Canada is to upskill yourself. Upskilling is basically getting trained, getting certified, like getting new things added to your experience, added to your skills that puts you in a better position to be hired, puts you in a better position to receive job opportunities. Upskilling gives you an opportunity to expand your capabilities. You want to feel ready, you want to be proactive, you want to feel like you are the best person for this job over 1,001 other candidates. Some of the ways that you can do this is by learning a skill. For example, if you are heavily interested in STEM, or let me say data science, artificial intelligence and analysis, try to learn a new thing like Python or R, try to learn programming languages, cloud computing, and all of those things that are in, data analysis, right? Try to get certifications. These are things that you do not even need to go to school for. These are things that you can learn online. There is Udemy, there is Coursera, there is edX. You can take some of these training courses. If you are someone who is in the health sector, say for example, whatever it is you're coming to study in Canada is a health related course, and you feel like you want to work in the health field or you want to work in a hospital, a good way to upskill is to get trained or get certified on giving first aid, because you can use your training and certification to also teach other people first aid. Learn or get trained or certified on basic life support. For example, everybody needs to know how to perform first aid. It doesn't matter whether you're in the health sector or not. Everyone needs to know how to identify the signs of a stroke and what to do. Everyone needs to know how to give CPR, because literally anything can happen at any point in time. You do not need to be a health person for you to be able to know these things, but it is good to know. A lot of those health jobs require first aid training or basic life support training at the barest minimum in order to get a job. I'll give you an example. In December of 2019, I quit my job. I was living in a different city. I wasn't in Edmonton, but I was going to move to Edmonton by January 2020. So that was why I quit my job. And when I moved into Edmonton, of course, I had to start afresh with the whole job search thing, but I was in a new field at the time and I wanted a particular type of job. I didn't want to do the kind of job that I did in 2019, so I decided to upskill. I was looking at job descriptions within the new field that I wanted to go into at the time. I was using LinkedIn for the most part, but most of the job descriptions that I saw, in fact every single job description that I saw had the requirements that the applicant must have basic life support training and credential in order to be hired, or at the time of hiring them. I had to go and look for training centers where I could take basic life support training, take first aid training. It's a one-day training for a few hours. I did it, and that was how I was eventually able to get a job that year in the place that I was applying to. Even though I applied more than 10 times before I got called for an interview after I got my training, the fact is that I already got the training. So if I didn't have that basic life support training and I kept applying for those jobs, I probably would not have been called for an interview. But like, I did the training, and after I did the training, I put on my resume that, okay, I already have basic life support training, so that makes me like one step closer to being the best candidate for this job. And that's how I was able to get called for an interview. That is even how I even got the job in the first place. Be proactive, be smart, upskill yourself, go and learn those skills, go and get trained, get certified in those skills. And once you have received the training, once you have received the certification, add it onto your resume and then apply for that job. Trust me guys, you are one step closer to landing that job faster and better than someone who does not even have those certifications. So the fifth tip on how to land a job fast or how to get hired fast as a new international student in Canada is to apply to as many places as possible. Do not restrict yourself when you apply. You are a newcomer, you are a new international student. You need a job that's going to help you save money for tuition, pay your bills, pay rent, buy food, and all of those things. Sometimes the job might not be what you want. It might not be your dream job. However, what you need to understand, what you need to remind yourself constantly is that it is temporary. Just as being a student is temporary. You're not going to be a student forever. You are only going to be a student for a certain amount of time. Your goal is to study and pass, and your goal is also to be able to pay your bills, especially if you do not have anybody paying your bills. You need to be able to pay rent, you need to buy food. Like, there are certain things that you need money for. You need to be able to cater to yourself as a student. So do not restrict yourself on job applications. Apply to as many places as possible. You will definitely be called for an interview. You're gonna get a job. All right guys, so that is it for this video. I hope that you found this video insightful. I am quite excited. I know you probably might not see it on my face, but I'm quite excited for all the newcomers that are coming to Canada, and some of them are already in Canada, some of them have already started school. I'm really happy for you, and I'm wishing you all the best. And for those of you who are coming to Canada in the next few months to start school, I do hope that you find this video extremely useful and you take whatever it is that you can take from this video and apply. I do wish you all the best. I wish you success, and I pray you land that job. If you watched all the way up to the end of this video, thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up. Like this video, guys. My analytics are really crying. My analytics are seeing red. A lot of you are watching me but you're not subscribed. Please like my video, because it does help my analytics. It does help me figure out what exactly it is that you guys want to see from me, and it also helps the YouTube algorithm to push my videos to other places around the world. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you've been watching me and you are not yet subscribed, I don't know what it is you're doing. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Turn on your post notifications so that every time I post a video, you will be the first to know. I will see you guys in my next video. Stay safe. Bye.